ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second International Seminar on Business, Economic, Social Science and Technology 2019. As Excellency the keynote speaker, Dr. Insinyur Dwi Heriyanto MT, as Vice President of Human Capital Strategic Management Telkom and Board of Commissioners PT.PINS. As Excellency the panel speakers, Datok Professor Yusof Kasim from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, Professor Nemoto Masatsugu from Chungbuk National University, Korea, Excellency Director of Universitas Terbuka, that represented by the Dean of Faculty of Economic, Dr. Ali Muktianto, SE, MSE. Excellency co-host, Associate Professor, Dr. Andes Ridwan from Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi Indonesia, Jakarta. Ronald PC Fangidai, SE, MM, from Universitas Nusa Cendana. Yayuk Nurjana, SE, MAK from IB Kesatuan Bogor. Excellency invited guests, Professor Zakia Saleh from Universiti Malaya, Malaysia, Muhammad Mahsun, SE, MSc, PhD candidate as the head of Association of Public Sector Accounting Educators, APSAE. Rahmadi Murwanto, AK, MACC, PhD, as the Director of PKN STAN. Excellency the participants, honorable partners, APSAE, Rumah Publikasi Indonesia, PKN STAN, IB Kesatuan Bogor, and STIE Indonesia. Honorable our main sponsor, Bank BNI, Bank BRI, Bank Mandiri, and Bank BTN. Before we proceed the program today, we would like to inform that ISBEST 2019 will be held for 2 days, October 23 until 24. Today we will have keynote, plenary, and parallel session. And for tomorrow, we will perform competition of public sector innovation, COPSI 2019, and coaching clinic. We hope all the participants can follow the whole program through the completion. As your information, ISBEST 2019 are broadcasting live on UTTV. The Excellency guests, ladies and gentlemen, now we will describe to you about K3, Kesehatan dan Keselamatan Kerja. Emergency induction. The building is equipped. Evacuation facilities are made to facilitate people to evacuate. The building is equipped with portable fire extinguishers and hydrant equipment. In case of an emergency, stay calm, not panic, and immediately get out of the room. Available 2 exit ways in the front and in the rear. Assembly points are available outside the building. UTCC's facilities, toilets are available on the right and left outside the lobby. Praying room is available in the right wing lobby. Thank you. The Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem, Indonesia Raya, and hymn Universitas Terbuka, conducted by Brightly Avi Jonathan. Ladies and gentlemen, please have a seat. Honorable distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, as our welcome greetings, we would like to present to you Merak Sunda and the Gold Dance from West Java to symbolize our dedication to welcome the arrival guests as a way to show hospitality and respect. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Merak Sunda and the Gold Dance by Sanggar Manggali and Sanggar Kartika Depok. Once again, please give a warm applause. Honorable distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, we will praise the Almighty God for His blessing that we are able to attend this seminar. Let us pray, led by Mr. Saiful Mikdar.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hadirin yang berbahagia, marilah kita menundukkan hati dan kepala sejenak seraya berdoa kepada Allah Subhanahu wa taala agar seminar ini dapat menjadi momen berharga bagi kita semua. Saya akan memimpin doa ini berdasarkan ajaran Islam, dan bagi yang memiliki keyakinan lain, silakan berdoa sesuai dengan keyakinannya di dalam hati masing-masing. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan naimin. حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيدا يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك الكريم وعظيم سلطانك اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل محمد اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه amin ya rabbal alamin. Segala puja, puji, syukur bagi Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Puji bagi Allah seru sekalian alam. Pujian yang menyamai nikmatnya dan menandingi keutamaannya. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, untuk-Mu pujian yang sebanding dengan kebesaran dan kemuliaan wajah-Mu dan kebesaran keluasan-Mu. Ya Allah, sesungguhnya kami memohon kepadamu keselamatan dan kesehatan jasad dan ditambahkan dengan ilmu pengetahuan. Ya Allah, hari ini Rabu 23 Oktober 2019 di tempat ini gedung UTCC, kami Sivitas Akademika Fakultas Ekonomi Universitas Terbuka dan para peserta seminar ini berkumpul untuk mengadakan seminar tentang International of Business Economics, Social Science and Technology, ISBEST, dengan mengambil tema Indonesian Society in 5.0, Innovation Challenges and Opportunities. Ya Allah, jadikanlah seminar internasional ini sebagai pertemuan ilmu pengetahuan yang bermanfaat, sebagai media untuk berbagi ide, pengetahuan dan pengalaman yang bermanfaat dari para pendekiawan, peneliti, dan dari berbagai disiplin ilmu. Semoga seminar yang kami selenggarakan ini bermanfaat bagi kehidupan kami, memperluas pengetahuan kami, mencemerlangkan gagasan kami, dan memimpin kami untuk menjadi orang-orang produktif yang sukses, yang pada gilirannya akan meningkatkan martabat bangsa kami, Indonesia. Ya Allah, tuntun dan berkahilah hati dan pikiran kami dengan cahaya bimbingan-Mu. Terapkanlah kebijakan-Mu pada kegiatan kami. Bimbing kami untuk dapat berbicara dengan jelas dan fasih. Bantu kami untuk saling mendengarkan saling menghormati, saling mencintai, sehingga kami termasuk orang-orang yang diberkahi. Ya Allah, lindungi kami dari godaan-godaan yang tidak diinginkan. Perlihatkanlah kami bahwa yang benar itu benar dan yang salah itu salah. Beri kami pengetahuan dan kekuatan untuk melakukan hal-hal yang baik dan menghindari hal-hal yang buruk. Ya Allah, hanya Engkaulah yang bisa memenuhi doa kami. Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار والحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you for Mr. Saiful Mikdar. The Excellencies, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to begin the opening ceremony today, here is the report from the Chief of the Organizing Committee, Dr. Joko Rizky Widokarti, SEMM.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Best wishes for all of us. On behalf of the committee of the Second International Seminar on Business, Economics, Social Science and Technology, ISBEST 2019, I am more than delighted to welcome all the distinguished guests and participants who have come today. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Rector of Universitas Terbuka, represented by the Dean of the Faculty of Economics, our keynote speakers, Dr. Ingenieur Dwi Heriyanto, MT, our panel speakers, Datuk Professor Yusof Kasim, Dr. Nemoto Masatsugu, and our invitation guests, Profesor Zakia Saleh and Profesor Indra Bastian. Our partners, APSAE, Rumah Publikasi Indonesia, PKN STAN, Universitas Nusa Cendana, IB Kesatuan, and STIE Indonesia. Our sponsors, Bank BNI, Bank Mandiri, Bank BRI, Bank BTN, and other parties involved in making this seminar happen. ISBEST 2019 is hosted by Faculty of Economics, Universitas Terbuka, with over 60,000 students enrolled in its undergraduate and graduate programs. Faculty of Economics, Universitas Terbuka is one of the most well-reputed Indonesian higher education institutions in open and distance learning disciplines. On the second day, we also held competition of Public Sector Innovation Award, COPSI, which will follow by 10 finalists. We give the appreciation to activists in the public sector for their participation in this competition so as to benefit the managerial system of public sector entities and the public. Through this conference, with as many as 105 papers came from 25 government and private institutions and which will presented in 6 tracks room. We would like to engage with all of you in open and constructive dialogue about Indonesian society in 5.0, innovation, challenges, and opportunities. Thank you for your participation, and you are the very important part of the seminar success. Thank you and enjoy this seminar. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Joko, for your report. The Excellencies, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we would like to invite to the podium to deliver his welcoming speech as the Dean of Faculty of Economic, Dr. Ali Muktianto, SE, MSE.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam kebajikan, namo buddhaya, Om Swastiastu. To Honorable Keynote Speakers, Dr. Insinyur Dwi Heriyanto, MT, Vice President Human Capital Strategic Management, PT Telkom Indonesia, and Board of Commissioners, PT.PINS. Panel speakers, Professor Nemoto Masatsugu from Chungbuk National University, Korea, Bapak Datok Profesor Yusof Kasim from Universiti Kebangsaan, Malaysia, invitation guests, Professor Zakiyah Saleh from University of Malaya, and Professor Indra Prastian from Universiti Gajah Mada. Vice Rectors, Deans and Chairperson of Institution at Universitas Terbuka. The first Director of Universitas Terbuka apologized for not being able to attend and open the seminar. And the Director sent his warmest regards and asked me as the representation to open the seminar. Best wishes for all of us on behalf of Universitas Terbuka. It is my great pleasure to warmly welcome all of the participants of the International Seminar and Business, Economics, Social Science and Technology, or ISBEST Seconds 2019. And Competition of Public Sector Innovation Award, COPSI First 2019. It is an honor for us to welcome our keynote speakers from PT Telkom, Korea, and Malaysia. Thank you for coming and joining us here today. It is a great pleasure for us to able to hosting this forum where we could gain and exchange knowledge, especially in the field of economy. Ladies and gentlemen, and all participants, for this conference, we particularly highlight the issue of Indonesian society in 5.0, innovation, challenges, and opportunities. The theme is based on the economic, business, and social shocks caused by the emergence of digital technology. Digital technology has changed the structure of conventional economics, business, and life. Along with this, if 4.0 is information, data that is of a digital nature appears society 5.0, a period in which people are human-centered that balances economics progress by solving social problems, by systems that deeply integrate cyberspace and physical space. Through Society 5.0, artificial intelligence will transform big data in all walks of life, and the Internet of Things will become a new wisdom, which will be dedicated to enhancing human capabilities to open opportunities for humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, we wish you all have a stimulating and productive discussion and hopefully could develop new network for collaborative research. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tangerang Selatan, Oktober 23rd, 2020, Director of Universitas Terbuka, Professor Ojat Darojat Embus, PhD. And finally, with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, in the name of Allah, most merciful and graceful, this seminar officially open.
We would like to ask Dr. Ali Muktianto, SCMSE, to stay on the stage in order to officially open the ISBEST 2019. And please for Dr. Joko Rizky Widokarti to accompany Dr. Ali Muktianto to officially open ISBEST 2019. Thank you for Dr. Ali Muktianto and Dr. Joko. The Excellencies, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the keynote session, who will lead by our moderator, Rini Yayuk Priyati, PhD. We invite to the stage Mrs. Rini Yayuk Priyati, PhD. Okay, we also will invite our keynote speaker, Dr. Insinyur Dwi Heriyanto, MT, as the Vice President of Human Capital Strategic Management Telkom and Board of Commissioners PT.PINS.
Thank you, Mbak Astri. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. I am Rini Priyati. I will be your moderator for today. In the last couple of years, we have heard a lot about Industrial Revolution 4.0, right? And then before I can catch up with the idea of Industrial Revolution 4.0, now we moving to Society 5.0, which is, for me, it's a bit, what the hell is it like? Naturally, I will ask like that. Before this seminar, I did a little browsing, and this is from the globaljapan.world. It says that Society 5.0 is Japan's vision for the future. So the idea is come from Japan. And it's a super smart society with technologies such as big data, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and robot fused into every industry and all across social segment. The hope is, this is important, this information revolution will be able to solve currently impossible problems, so that problem that we cannot solve now will be solved in the future, making everyday life more comfortable and sustainable. And then my big question is, are we ready yet? I mean, Indonesia, as Indonesian, we're ready for the Indonesian 5.0. Partly to answer this question, I have Bapak Dr. Dwi Heriyanto from Telkom University to deliver his speech about Telkom Indonesia towards Society 5.0. Before that, please allow me to read his brief profile. Bapak Dr. Dwi Heriyanto get his doctoral degree from Jalan University, majoring in business management. Before that, he got his bachelor and master's degree from University of Indonesia. He is currently the Vice President of Human Capital and Strategic Management of PT Telkom Indonesia. He is also one of commissioners at PT.PINS and advisory board of Amuba Management. Yeah, we will have around 1 hour for you to deliver your presentation, and after that we will have a question and answer section. Please, Bapak Dr. Dwi Heriyanto.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really honored to stand before you all today to present about the Society 5.0. My presentation's title today is Telecom Towards Society 5.0. So before continuing my presentation, I would like to introduce myself. So I think Ibu Yayu introduce myself. So let me introduce myself. My name is Dwi Heriyanto. So this is my life journey, both in academic and office career. My highest educational level in Doctor Management Business from Jalan University. Now I'm working in PT Telkom since 1991, so now it's 28 years in PT Telkom. Next, this is the outline. I would start explaining the background of Society 5.0, which will be seen from the states of industry perspective and the digital trends. Then I would continue to explain the challenges from Telkom's views on entering Society 5.0, which will be seen from Telkom vision statement and challenge in human capital management. In the third part, I will explain Telkom human capital strategy on entering Society 5.0 by describing further about how do we develop our people, the cultures and ways of working, and the organizational structure to adapt the change in industry. So let me start explaining the background of Society 5.0. The previous society were Society 1.0 to 4.0, which were explained by industry at the time. Society 1.0 is explained by the hunter-gatherer states of human development, which further continued by Society 2.0 as the agrarian society, Society 3.0 by the industrial society, and the recent society was information society, which related to Industry 4.0. To illustrate it, how does the Society 5.0 created, we can learn from Japan. Japan was the leader of Society 5.0, with going beyond Industry 4.0. As we can see here, the development of information technology was rapidly in Industry 3.0 and 4.0. The automation, computers, and electronic were produced in Industry 3.0, then was developed further in Industry 4.0. In Industry 4.0, the improvement in information technology had created the cyber-physical system, Internet of Things, and networks. In Industry 4.0, the generation of knowledge and intelligence was done by humans with the help of technology, which distinguished the development in Society 5.0, where the generation of knowledge and intelligence will come from machines through artificial intelligence at the service of people. What does make Japan seems easily to enter the Society 5.0? Because of Japan has advantages, which makes Society 5.0 is possible to implement nowadays. Japan has the abundant accumulation of real data and technology cultivated from monozukuri. These advantages actually were started by the change in Japan demography structure, where the aging of its people reduced the number of workforce, then it became a trait of this country. They had to think about the alternative of workers to maintain their production level. Moreover, the energy and environmental issues in other countries also drove them to think about the opportunity to grab by improving productivity and creating new markets. Therefore, they have been using their abundant accumulation of real data in the current market economy and the industry. Thus, their monozukuri or their excellence in the manufacturing of things and research were beneficial for creating product using information technology like big data and AI. Then they implement to their excellence for service their society. In the Society 5.0, they can utilize big data that collected by Internet of Things, which will be converted into a new type of intelligence by artificial intelligence and will reach every society. The advantages of Society 5.0 will bring more comfortable and sustainable to people, which will get the product and service in the amount at the time where needed. With the Society 5.0, Japan solved their problem of aging, where their needs were fulfilled by the help of the utilization of new type of intelligence. To give more illustration of Society 5.0, let me play this video.
ここはちょっと未来の日本のとある町。時間ぴったり。IoT や AI 技術によって叶えられるソサエティ 5.0 の社会です。
おはよう。朝ごはん何にしようかな。
スムージーはいかがですか？
いいね。
そろそろお出かけの時間です。
よっ。コロッケパンとミックスサンドいつものお店でお願い。
注文しておきます。
昨日から血圧が高いみたいですが。
あら、そう？
おばあちゃん行ってきます。
いってらっしゃい。
おはようございます。
おはよう。はい、これ。
ありがとう。
ぶねえ、間に合った。
先輩。
ああ、お前も乗るとこ？
はい。
未来が楽しみでしょ。
なんか言った？
なんでもないです。
So next, digitation and digitization had made the transformation from Industry 4.0 to Society 5.0 possible. Now we are living in the conceptual age and preparing for Society 5.0. The traditional value chain was disrupted by new applications as the utilization of developed technology. The rapid changing in information technology made the disruption of conventional products and services were possible. As an example, Telkom source message services was disrupted by WhatsApp application. Recently, instead of using the conventional SMS, people like using WhatsApp to chat with others. It clearly disrupted the telco's revenue from SMS. Transportation industry also was disrupted by the applications such as Uber, GoCart. The hotel industry also has been disrupted by Airbnb. The hospitality service, which offered the luxuries, was disrupted by basic service. Many things were changed because of the development of digital products. However, the global digital trends have transforming the industry 4.0 to society 5.0, as we can see here. In 2016, the connectivity business was almost half of the world revenue in telco industry. In 2030, it expected only around 15% of revenue connectivity. In the other side, the development of new market from frontier technology make rapid improvement in the AI and robotic. Now there are 4 areas of new technology: cognitive technology, robotics, IoT, connected device, and mobile social media. The advantage of working in digital business includes the increasing of the business space with the rate of change in speed is 23% higher than traditional one. It also impacts on culture and mindset, flexible and distributed workplace, productivity, improving access and connectivity. Because of the digital business influences on telecommunication business revenue, the transformation from traditional business into digital is a mandatory for telecom. As Jack Welch said, if the rate of change on the outside exceeds the rate of change on the inside, the end is near. To approach the digital transformation, Telkom has started transforming its people, business, culture, organization, and business process. And it started from its leaders who strive for reaching the vision and mission of the company, which together move the people and the business. As a catalyst, culture, business process, and organization also is transformed based on the business strategy. To enter Society 5.0, next slide. To enter Society 5.0, Telkom has to face challenges. In this part, I will explain about the challenge in people, culture, and organization, and what we already done to change the challenge into the opportunities. This is our vision as a king of digital players in the region. To achieve our strategic objective, we deploy 10 corporate strategic initiatives based on portfolio strategy and parenting strategy. Our CEO believes the great people becomes our main engine. So we focus on developing human capital management in digital business. We can approach the human capital management challenge toward digital business from the perspective of people, culture, and organization. In people, we face the big generation gap in telecom workplace, where we can find the baby boomers generation and millennial employee side by side in the same workplace. Then we need the new way to manage the gig workers in digital business. Our return on investment in people become an important issue. In culture, we have to adapt the new culture, particularly to face the reality that connection to the internet always on. It made the border between personal and work time blurred. Then, the change on the requirement of instant feedback drives us to design a real-time performance management which use objective key result. In organization, we also have to adapt the organization structure to agile, flat, and open organization by working in network teams. Moreover, we digitalize our HR system by utilizing the advanced technology. We start from the framework to maintain people, culture, organization with excellent practices, creative programs, and strong governance. So, in the center of Telkom, people development program is our value and belief. We call it the Telkom way. At the left side on the triangle, we develop the technical functional competencies, and the right side we develop professional competencies, and at the base side of the triangle, we develop digital leadership competencies. We have been deploying Great People Management Program to strengthening the managerial capabilities in managing the execution of the function, resources, and change which are aligned with our business strategy. We enhance personal quality through professional competencies. Enhancing digital leadership competencies, we deploy Great People Development Program to build the great leader who have strong character, leadership, vision on digital business in national and global scope. To have the great people and great leader in digital business, we need to transform our people mindset first. In the past, telecom people had been only thinking of technology, product, marketing, and sales, profitability. However, in the digital era, telecom people has to think about purpose, users, and customers. Develop solutions as agile relationship between development and IT operation and monetizing. We also then have to think about the orchestration, agility, and sustainability between these two. We have designed a new human capital system for digital talent. In the early stage of the digital transformation, we still have two policies, one for our business as usual, and others, one for people in digital business. Because of this, it's still early stage, the majority is still in the existing business. But we already equipped this transformation by providing the digital policy system, digital capability playbook, and the digital culture, which will be explained in the next slide. Actually, we already have the telecom way as our culture. The basic belief of the telecom people is always the best, which is equipped by three values as the foundation: integrity, enthusiasm, and totality. Then we have three pillars as a core value: solid, speed, smart. At the top of our culture building, there are key behaviors: imagine, focus, action. For the transformation to digital business, we provide innovation channels to support the innovation behavior in our company. Then we also promote flexible working arrangement, enhance knowledge system, and promote creative space. These slides show how we are seriously supporting innovation in telecom. Started 2017, Telkom has Amuba as a lab for young talent to contribute their ideas in innovation. Since it had been success in its managed under the AMA management, which has run like startup. In 2018, we started running a hack idea even twice a year, which has proposed to re-engineer the internal business process. We can see here that the Amuba process in the big city, such in Medan, Jakarta, Bandung, Semarang, Surabaya, Balikpapan, and Makassar. In the first stage, from 600 ideas, we eliminated around 120 ideas, then 100 ideas that were incubated. At the final step, the top 20 ideas will be processed for further in the AMA management, where the digital process was involved. As a large company, which is an incumbent like telco, we have to change our mindset to start thinking small as a startup, which have to cultivate the idea into a digital product that can be monetized. Now I will play the video of the innovation journey in telecom to give you the real picture of it. Yeah, this is Amuba from Telkom. So we changed our mindset and we equip implementing the new way of working. We provide flexi time and flexi place to work. We also redecorated our workplace to fulfill the open workspace and clean desk as a part of the adaptation to digital working space. The most important thing is we provide the digital behavior as a guidance for employee. As I explained in previous slide, we also facilitated our employee with digital HR system, which simplify the HR process with the goal to make an excellent employee experience in HR services. For example, employee can easily track their career plan in Ingenium, print out their tax report, or ask for HR information via employee help desk. So this is the last for the organizational structure. In organization, now we are running dual mode organization, which apply the traditional functional based hierarchical structure and project based in cross-functional team and experimentation. Even though in the near future our digital business will be developed more, we still need to maintain the conventional structure to manage our existing business. So we'll run the customer missing-based teams supported by core function. In the cross-functional team, we employ the agile organization, which is a living organism. Its principles include work in team, focus on a specific outcome, collaborative, open talent with a fail-fast perspective, and end-to-end accountability. We form tribes as a home for squads, which is enabled by chapter investment committee. Here the conclusion of Telkom Indonesia toward to Society 5.0. I'm using Dwi model. This is my dissertation. Dwi model is delivering on grid people, working on grid culture, and integrating on grid organization. Last but not least, it's supported by IT and digital working environment. Let me close my presentation by playing this video of digital working environment.
The Telecom Hub, Center of Excellence and source of inspiration to build digital Indonesia. Reflecting Telkom Indonesia's role as global digital hub. The Telecom Hub consists of 3 buildings. Gra Merah Putih, the first building in this area. Telkom Landmark Tower, the main building and one of the highest buildings in Jakarta. And Telkomcell Smart Office. The Telecom Hub has 6 advantages. First, nurturing a culture of digital innovation. Digital work style, presenting sustainable innovation. With the implementation of a digital work style, work gets done more effectively and efficiently. The open space allows employees to collaborate more closely. Employees can also collaborate in cyberspace. A digital work style is not only applied inside the Telecom Hub. Thanks to the employee shuttle bus, collaborative work gets mobile. People stay productive, while traffic congestion is reduced. Second, smart infrastructure and services management. The Center of Operations and Control of the network and services allows for reactive, proactive, and even predictive actions to provide excellent services to customers. Third, Digipreneur Development Center. Jakarta Digital Valley, a digital creative center as the vessel of development for digital startups to create Indonesian digipreneurs. Socio-techno education as fourth advantage. The inspiration to innovate results from interactive experiences with diverse applications based on future technology. A Telkom digital experience which is open to public. Fifth, Digital Customer Experience Center. Services that implement the concept of Know Your Customer and the Internet of Things, providing customers an all-round digital experience in obtaining service solutions. And the sixth advantage, Smart Mosque. The mosque, with a capacity of 3,000, provides ease of management and a new experience in fulfilling the spiritual needs in today's modern digital era. The Telecom Hub also features various facilities. Employee corner, vertical garden, food court, auditorium, banking services, and health clinic. The Telecom Hub, center of excellence and source of inspiration to build digital Indonesia.
So, working at Telkom Group is to be fun, productive, and blessed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pak Dwi Heriyanto. And maybe this presentation answer my question before, that Telkom is ready for Society 5.0, right, Pak? Yeah. We still have few minutes to question and answer session. Typically, we don't have the question and answer section for the keynote speech, but because it's such a special seminar, so we will have maybe 3 questions. And I was told that if you ask questions, so you will have a well done souvenir, something like that from the committee. Yeah, 3 questions. Okay, 1. Please introduce yourself first.
Thank you so much. My name is Charles. I came from Maluku. Talking about Society 5.0, I think we need something proving in reality. According to your experience and your study, I think, how about the Society 5.0 can make a big contribution to Indonesia? In Indonesia, we have a big problem about economic growth, how to reduce the level of poverty, and how to make a higher income for the society. I think that's the main idea, critical point if we're talking about Indonesia. I think Society 5.0 is important, but for now, it's not the important thing for us to do that. How about your opinion about the contribution, the main contribution of Society 5.0 for Indonesia? I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Another question? Oh, all right, yeah, thanks. Please introduce yourself first.
Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sucipto. I'm from UPBJJ UT Surabaya. My question about, I have idea, I want to make village integration in Surabaya, and now I researched in Candirejo, that is kampung herbal. Jadi gini simpelnya, in Indonesia, I want to make Indonesia. Jadi begini, di Surabaya itu banyak kampung green, ya, green and clean, because the slogan in Surabaya, the village. Tetapi saya jadi ada program Telkom itu, dia bikin begini, bikin kampung digital, tapi itu sederhana sekali begitu. Bagi saya itu sederhana sekali untuk economic development, itu sangat sederhana. Jadi saya punya keinginan, bisa ndak Telkom itu nanti bisa kerjasama dengan UT misalnya, khususnya nanti UT Surabaya, itu bikin integrasi antar kampung-kampung. Jadi Surabaya itu punya kampung hijau di beberapa titik, dan salah satu pilot project Candirejo, kampung herbal, dan Jambangan, dan banyak daerah-daerah yang lain, dan itu basicnya itu adalah ekoturism. Nah, saya tertarik di situ untuk mengintegrasikan titik ke titik itu jadi dalam satu digital. Nah, ini nanti bisa dikerjasamakan, dan saya sekarang sedang masuk di Candirejo itu. Jadi kalau itu bisa bikin permodelan kampung ke kampung itu, jadi masyarakat langsung yang merasakan tentang society 4.0 itu. Jadi bukan masyarakat yang akademisi begitu, yang itu memang dia punya kesadaran yang tinggi. Tetapi bagaimana masyarakat lokal di grassroots, ya, di grassroots itu, the community know about society 4.0. Jadi saya tertarik di situ Bapak, dan mungkin nanti bisa kerjasama untuk mengintegrasikan itu. Dan Bu Risma sebagai wali kota itu tertarik untuk mengembangkan itu. Jadi itu saja sih Pak. Jadi bagaimana itu bisa diintegrasikan, dan itu kalau bisa dipakai model di Surabaya kan bisa diaplikasikan di daerah-daerah lain. Jadi cukup dengan digital kita bisa mengintegrasikan itu, dan potensinya setiap daerah itu punya potensi yang berbeda-beda. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, thank you. One more question. Yes.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Society. My name Aang Munawar from Institute Business and Informatika Kesatuan Bogor. Society 5.0 is very needed in developing planter. So the problem is implement 5.0 is internet network is not yet widely accessible. How Telkom plays the widely internet can access in plantation. Thank you.
Bapak from EB,
Yeah.
I'm a bit lost in translation. Maybe you can
yeah.
repeat your question.
Kalau kita lihat di perkebunan ini kan permasalahannya adalah produktivitasnya sangat rendah. Dan di dalam perkembangan yang terakhir nanti manusia itu agak sulit didapat untuk dipekerjakan di perkebunan. Nah, sehingga sebetulnya dengan Society 5.0 ini sangat diperlukan, karena dengan menggunakan jaringan internet. Kemudian ada program-program yang dapat menilai perkebunan di wilayah ini kekurangan air, kekurangan pupuk, dan lain-lain. Itu bisa digunakan secara digitalis. Nah, untuk itu bagaimana peran PT Telkom ini dapat memperluas jaringan terutama di daerah-daerah perkebunan yang memang sulit akses internetnya. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So the first question from Charles from Maluku. He asked about how Telkom can contribute to Indonesia's developments, more or less like that. Yeah, please, Bapak.
Yeah, Pak Charles. So I think, you know, Telkom, like now as a business and an agent development of Indonesia. So only Telkom can reach internet broadband to the whole over of Indonesia. So how Telkom to help society? So we try to create like implementing the IoT, Internet of Things, in the small village in the Indramayu. This is one of the productions of rice. So we monitored the farmers, the productivity, and the area of the production of rice with the IoT. And I think in the going to the society 5.0, here in Indonesia, we just started. And even for the industry 4.0, our government just started to think about it. So I'm following the industry 4.0 running by government. So they invite the Professor Otto Scramer from MIT to set up how we running the industry 4.0 in Indonesia. So I think the basic in this industry 4.0 is the collaboration. So I call it a triple helix. So collaboration between the academici, business, and government. We can running with only with business to help the society, but we need the policy from the government. For example, when we create the smart city, so if the government have a policy or guidance for the whole city in Indonesia, we have a standardized for the smart city. And in fact, every city in Indonesia, they build the smart city with its own their capability. They don't have standardized. So when we communicate with other city, it's not connected each other. So I think the keys for helping the society, we collaborate between the government as a policy product, the business, and for the academics too. This is that Telkom right now help the state-owned company to create the application like a Kartu Tani or the application, the Agri. We have an application to monitor the farmer productivity. So we are in the early stage, but Telkom make the hub center for the connection between other department to the other department in state-owned company. I think this is my answer.
Thank you, Pak Dwi Heriyanto. I think his answer also answered the question by Bapak from Institute Business and Informatika Kesatuan, right? It's about plantation sector something, but he already answered what Telkom contribute to the agricultural sector, something like that. Yeah. And the second question is about the integration in the green villages in Surabaya.
Yes, I have an idea when I read the papers in a small village in China. There's a small village in China, they're productive nuts. And before, they are not using the IT. When the internet comes, and then with the Jack Ma, with the Alibaba, now this village is more rich because of the technology. So I think the same like in Surabaya. So we can collaborate with the Surabaya city to create one village as a sample for using the IoT. And then we can make a completed, not only technology. We started with developing the people, with the mindset of the people, city of the village. And then we give the mentoring or coaching for them how to manage the productivity for the herbal, for example. And then we have a marketplace in Telkom called belanja.com. You can use the marketplace to sell your product. And I think this year we'll implement the one village location in Banten, to introduce their area using the internet, and then to develop their people. And of course, the connectivity like a broadband is very important. Now we have an infrastructure like broadband access, but the concept of the telecom business not only to sell the connectivity, but we provide the content and application and to give the education for the people too. I think next you can contact me to create the one village to be productive in Surabaya.
Thank you, Pak Dwi. So, Bapak can contact Pak Dwi Heriyanto. Before I finish this session, maybe one more question? Oh, two. All right, First Ibu, and then Bapak.
Terima kasih. Saya ingin bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia saja. Saya Ari dari FISIP Universitas Terbuka. Pertanyaan saya kepada Pak Dwi, jadi Universitas Terbuka itu mungkin juga beberapa universitas lainnya nanti segera akan menyusul mendeliver course kontennya melalui online, tutorial online, yang melibatkan kalau UT itu 2.500 lebih tutor dan melibatkan 300.000 mahasiswa. Nah, kami sering kesulitan dalam baik tutor maupun mahasiswa sering kesulitan untuk mengakses tutorial online itu, khususnya di daerah-daerah yang seperti di Papua, di perbatasan-perbatasan seperti di Tarakan, Kalimantan Kaltara, dan Sulawesi Utara misalnya, atau di Kupang. Nah, ini bagaimana peran Telkom untuk mempercepat perkembangan ini sehingga tutorial online itu dapat cepat diakses oleh baik tutor maupun mahasiswa. Artinya pembelajaran online itu bisa segera direalisasikan dengan baik. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Bu Ari. And the second question, Ibu.
Perkenalkan nama saya. My name is Indah Kusumawati. I'm from University Tangerang, Muhammadiyah. My question: how 5.0 can be to convenience the people in Indonesia, because the people inland cannot internet. How the Telkomsel resolve it is? Thank you.
Iya, please Bapak Dwi Heriyanto.
Baik, Bu Ari, saya jawab bahasa Indonesia juga, Bu ya. So, bagaimana untuk lokasi? For the location like in Papua, ya. Telkom sudah memiliki jaringan internet sampai dengan Papua. Cuma mungkin lokasinya nanti kita cek apakah bisa terakses dengan internet dari Telkom. Actually, Telkom collaborate with the state-owned company office have a rumah kreatif BUMN RKB in every district. In Indonesia, we have RKB. So RKB can be used by people who want using the e-learning or video learning. Ya. Dan untuk lokasi-lokasi titiknya nanti Bu bisa kirim saja datanya ke kami. Kami akan cek bantu terkait dengan internet connection. Jika memungkinkan, kita akan membantu untuk menarik fiber optik ke lokasi yang dibutuhkan. Ya memang Telkom akan memfasilitasi lebih terkaitnya untuk membantu program pemerintah. Apalagi tahun ini pemerintah sudah mencanangkan SDM unggul Indonesia maju. Dan juga sudah di-state oleh Presiden Jokowi bahwa tahun ini adalah tahunnya untuk pengembangan people development. Artinya Telkom pun harus berperanan untuk membantu meningkatkan accessibility khususnya untuk internet yang menjangkau sampai dengan ke pelosok negeri. Itu aja Bu Ari, nanti kalau memang titiknya ada, kirim saja, saya mudah-mudahan bisa bantu hubungkan dengan teman-teman di Papua. Pertanyaan yang kedua, if we don't have any connectivity, how we implement the society 5.0? Nah, ini sebetulnya memang agak sulit karena bicara society 5.0, this beyond of industry 4.0. Artinya sudah level connectivity-nya sudah bagus. Seperti negara-negara Jepang, Korea, itu konektivitinya sudah bagus sekali sehingga dia bisa mudah untuk menerapkannya. So untuk Indonesia, mungkin penetrasi daripada internet kita masih belum merata dan menggapai seluruh pelosok negeri. Tapi sejalan dengan yang akan dilakukan oleh Telkom, tahun ini kita sudah memiliki pelanggan IndiHome katakan almost 7 juta ya. Dari 250 juta penduduk. Artinya kalau itu household hitungannya kita punya masih jauh sekali. Jadi syaratnya untuk society 5.0 ya internet connection-nya harus ada. Kira-kira itu.
Thank you Bapak Dwi Heriyanto. I think we should finish the session now and please give a warm applause to Bapak Dr. Dwi Heriyanto.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Rini Ayupriyati. Okay, thank you for Dr. Dwi Heriyanto, and we would like to call Dr. Dwi Heriyanto to receive the placard and souvenir, and please stay on the stage. And kindly please Dr. Ali Muktianto to pass on the souvenir and placard from Universitas Terbuka to our keynote speaker on the stage. wait for another placard. We will give another placard to Dr. Dwi Heriyanto. Will be passed on by Dr. Ali Muktianto. Thank you for Dr. Dwi Heriyanto, Dr. Ali Muktianto, and Dr. Joko Reski. Okay, the Excellencies, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We will continue our program to panel session, and we want to invite again Mrs. Rini Yayuk Priyati, PhD, to come to the stage. And Mrs. Rini will be the moderator for this session. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning again, everyone. We are very grateful today that we will have two accomplished speakers for this session. The first one is Dato Muhammad Yusof Kasim from Malaysia, and the second is Professor Nemoto Masatsugu from Chungbuk University, Korea. Please welcome to the stage.
Depannya.
Welcome to Indonesia, Professor Nemoto and Professor Yusof Kasim. Yeah, welcome to Universitas Terbuka. Both of our speakers will talk about the social service innovation in Malaysia and Korea. Maybe we can, after that, we can learn from them how they implement the innovation in social services. The first speaker will be Datuk Professor Yusof Kasim. Please. Yeah, you can either sit here or stand there. Okay. The slides, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. And a very good morning to everyone. First of all, I'm very grateful to Allah for me to be able to be here today to present my speech on public sector innovation in Malaysia. And I would like to thank the organizer, particularly Faculty of Economics, Universitas Terbuka Indonesia, and also the Association of Public Sector Accounting Educators for inviting me to be here. In particular, I would like to thank the Deans, Dr. Ali, Vice Dean, Professor Ginta, and one of the colleagues who first contacted me, Bapak Joris, I think. It was 10 months ago. It was very challenging for me to come here personally because my neighbor passed away yesterday. I was thinking whether I should come here or, but because I promised 10 months ago to come here, and I come here. And coincidentally also, one of the chief minister in Malaysia, we call it Menteri Besar, or here equivalent to governor, also wanted to see me. So it is very difficult for me to decide, but But I decided to come here because I already promised to come here 10 months ago, almost 1 year ago, you know. So that's why I think I'm here today. So I'm pleased to be here to share our knowledge on public sector innovation in Malaysia. Next slide, please. Before I talk about innovation in public sector in Malaysia, firstly, I would like to say a few words about Malaysia. We have 32,000 of population. Compared to Indonesia, you have 270 million. We have only 32 million. You have 270 million. So if you sell IT product, I think you make great profit here rather than in Malaysia, because you know big economy of scale. But the challenge is whether you are ready or not with the IT infrastructure. Now, Malaysia is a upper class middle income country, almost high income, but because of global economic scenario, we unable to get 12,000 US dollar per capita income. We are now about 10,000. So that's why we are supposed to be a high income in the year 2020, next year. Probably we have to delay until to 2023, yeah, or 24. But luckily we have the same Prime Minister who used to moot this idea of high income developed country, and now he become the Prime Minister for the second time at the age of 94 years old. I'm still 65, so I'm very young as compared to my Prime Minister. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think we all know about innovation. So in general, we can define that any process that translates any idea or invention into a good or service that create value. It has to create value. You translate your idea, you make invention but does not create value, that is not innovation to me. Yeah. But in the private sector, actually they talk about application of ideas by a company in order to fulfill or satisfy the needs of the customer. But of course, at the end of the day, customer have to pay. Yeah. But today we are talking about public sector. Public sector, this is the common definition. If you look into the literature, there is a big study by OECD countries and Nordic countries on innovation. They use this definition. Public sector innovation is introduction or implementation of a new or significantly improved, not necessarily new, but old one, but you can improve significantly, improve product or processes or organizational aspect, even communication method, policy, conceptual innovation by any public organization with the objective of improving overall performance of public sector. But actually, innovation is used to improve overall performance of public sector. When we talk about performance, we talk about efficiency, we talk about effectiveness, and we talk about deliverable, and how responsive are we to the customer. In the case of public sector, customers or stakeholders are mainly rakyat or the people. Yeah. Next. Now, what actually motivates public sector organization to innovate? Firstly, they want to solve their problem. For example, they have a problem of slow bureaucratic problem, not a slow process, a redundancy, inefficiency, and not then it innovate them, encourage them to create a new solution for that problem in order to meet their objective. Secondly, also they wanted to have more funding. Yeah, you can ask the government to get more funding. Secondly, I think people in the sector or in the organization wanted to propagate their idea or new policy for them. And also, you can have more staff because you have innovation unit. Yeah, and lastly, it is an exercise of public relation. Yeah, you know, your organization, public organization actually include public universities, you know, because public universities or state university is a public sector in Malaysia. Now, next, what is the motivation for the private sector? Private sector, number one is the same, they want to solve their problem. Number two, different. Instead of funding, they want to enlarge their profit. Yeah, keuntungan, to get more profit. And they have to have more market share. You know, that means their product can be sold in a larger market. They have more market share. Number four, actually they want to increase their competitiveness. That's why they preempt the competition. They want to be smarter than their competitors. Yeah. And number five, they wanted to grow in terms of size. You know, their company, or they can have branches and somewhere else globally. And the last, actually, about again public relation. Next, there are many types of innovation in the public sector. Number one is a new or improved service. For example, healthcare, normally people have to go to the clinic, go to the hospital, or any places that provide the healthcare. But you can make innovation by going to the people. You know, you bring the healthcare to the people. Just like in Islam, for example, you have people poor or fakir miskin. So instead of asking them to register their name at the religious office, I think people in the zakat organization should go and find the poor people, then they give zakat. So this is the innovation that we should make. There is an example in terms of services. Number two is in terms of processes, process innovation. Yeah, they are not developing a new product, but they improve the process of doing things, or process of manufacturing things. Yeah, and thirdly, administrative innovation is sometimes more on policy changes. Yeah, administratively, no changes in terms of physical organization. Number four, system innovation. Yeah, system, you change the system, the working system. That is also innovation. And number five is conceptual innovation. For example, from say you give services in silo, but now you integrated. You know, you integrate it. Yeah, for many agencies delivering the same services. So last but not least is a radical change of rationality. That means we shift our worldview or mental metric of whole employee. This is a very radical innovation, if you like. Yeah? But I don't think this is happening in Malaysia. Next, there are many styles of innovation that we can choose in the public sector. Whether we want to go incremental, slowly, bit a bit, you know, you target by a certain percentage, improve by 10%, 5% or whatever, or radically changes, you know, you really transform instead of incremental. Number two is whether the idea come from the top down or from bottom up, or could be both actually, or could be both, you know. And thirdly, is it a need-led because of we need it, or because we want to be more efficient? Yeah, not just need, but to be more efficient. Then you become more competitive, least cost, and also get more customer satisfaction. Next. Now I come to the Malaysian public policy or policy initiative for public innovation in Malaysia. But there are too many actually, directly or indirectly. But I think indirectly are too many of them. indirectly, yeah. But directly also there are a lot actually. But when I look at the write-up of policy, government policy, actually indirectly it started in 1970 when we have a national pillar rukun negara, or in Indonesia you have Pancasila, yeah, equivalent to Pancasila. So one of the objective is to build a society, progressive society, through modern science and technology. In that science and technology, actually, there are some part of innovation. Yeah, so that's why I say that it started in 1970, but that one I would say is indirect innovation policy for Malaysia. But the direct policy initiative for public sector innovation started in 1980s. Yeah, government introduced new public management, meaning to say Malaysian government changed the way they manage, by introducing major administrative innovation for better governance mechanism. Because we wanted to achieve greater efficiency and effectiveness. The same Prime Minister today, Tun Mahathir, actually in 1980, he introduced privatization policy. Because last time a lot of argument about SOEs, state-owned enterprise, not efficient, make losses, so does not meet their objective. So because of that, some of the state-owned enterprise, or in Malaysia, we call it also GLC, Government Links Company, government privatized it. One of the example is Malaysian Telecom, just like Telkom, yeah, our Telkom Go, and also utility company like TNB also privatized, or even Post Malaysia, yeah, first corporatized and then privatized. When I say privatized, some of them even they have a share in Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange. Yeah. So the idea actually is to get more efficiency, to reduce costs, yeah, and reduce the burden of the government on the public expenditure. Yeah. So this is to Malaysian government is part of innovation. Yeah. Actually, I can talk on privatization policy by itself for the whole session, but I think I'm not here to talk about that. I'm talking about innovation, just to set example. And number three, actually, government started to apply computer system in 1980, yeah, in Malaysia. And then Tun Mahathir also introduced a Look East policy to send students to Japan and Korea, yeah, to learn about technology, innovation, and working culture. My son, one of the beneficiary, he went to Korea to study software engineering for 6 years, in Korean language. Yeah. So this example, because actually our Prime Minister to change the attitude. Sometimes you can have a good machine, a very state-of-the-art machine, but if the mindset, if the culture is not right, you are not that, so-called hard work, then you cannot meet your objective. I think that is one of the idea why Malaysian government at that time focused on Look East. Now when he becomes a second time Prime Minister also, he look east. He look east again, he went to Japan many times in 1 year time, many times to Japan also for the Look East policy. Still hoping that Malaysia can inculcate the working culture, yeah, the working culture and the spirit of togetherness of the Japanese workers, yeah. If we talk about 5.0 in Japan, it is very true. They don't have a driver for the bus, no. Even the old people also can improve their life because of the easiness made by the technology, yeah, technology. But I think you cannot compare Japan to Malaysia or Indonesia. You have to see the level of digital literacy, you know, not just literacy alphabet ABC, but digital literacy. So I think it's not easy because the readiness in terms of infra and infrastructure, yeah, it has to be in place. Connectivity, broadband, and the price. If the price is too expensive, then you cannot, you know, you cannot implement it. So it has to be looked into it. Now, coming back to Malaysia, so Malaysia also introduced Malaysia Incorporated Policy 1983. This is about public-private initiative. Yeah. Again, actually, to improve the efficiency, working together and sharing experience. I have a great opportunity when United Nations actually asked me to deliver on this topic last time. I mean, I went to Kenya, you know, to share Malaysian example on incorporated policy, you know, public-private initiative in Malaysia. Now, in 1983 also, we introduced Quality Control Circle. If you remember, in the university, in the public sector last time, we were asked to come up with a group of people to come up and to think about how to innovate in your department, to improve your delivery system, you know. And there is a competition. You get a prize or award if you win, yeah. That kind of thing to enhance and create awareness about innovation. Now, next slide. In the 1990s, our Prime Minister introduced a Vision 2020 to become a developed, united, and also high-income country. When I said high-income country, I mean your per capita income must be more than 12,000 USD. Yeah. Now, later in 1992, we have total quality management, and then client service charter. That means you put in your office what is your charter. You want to say, if you work in the land office, they want to change the title of the land, for example, how many days the processes that take place, yeah, and what are the steps? This is the charter. So, but if I to tell you now in Malaysia, if you want to renew your passport, it's only 2 hours. Even better than United States. I think United States take 2-3 days, yeah, because they have to check a lot of things. Yeah, we actually only take 2 hours to renew our passport, Malaysian passport. 2 hours, not 2 days. 2 hours only to renew this one. Yeah, example, improve in the delivery using IT, you know, to deliver the services, the product. Now, next one is MSC, KPI. KPI is key performance indicators. I think now you all have. In the university, people talk about KPI, how many papers that you produce, corpus index, so many things, you know. How many research, what are the amount of grant that you get, how many PhD students you produce, what is your connection globally, MOU, MOA, many things. Many indicators. So I think old professor like me become fed up actually because too many numbers. Too many numbers. That's why I'm retired already. Yeah? Just retired. But still working. Retired doesn't mean retiree. I'm not retiree. I'm just retired from a particular organization. But I'm working freely as a freelance consultant, freelance researcher, and also visiting professor in various countries. Yeah? Okay. The next one, which is very important, is MSC, creation of smart city. Yeah, Malaysia multimedia super corridor. It was started in 1996. That's why I think for Malaysia it's quite easy to develop Industry 4.0 or even Society 5.0 because we have a good foundation already, yeah, in place, especially in that this smart city is Cyberjaya actually, Cyberjaya. they have MSc. Many companies all over the world operating in that one, in that one, especially using Malaysia as a call center for them, or even for database workers in say Korea, Japan, but they are doing it in Malaysia, in Cyberjaya. So government introduced e-government. Yeah, this producing 2 hours new passport is implementation of e-government, electronic government. Yeah, we transform operation of the public services. We change the culture of the people and clients relationship. So ICT actually was used to enhance efficiency, effectiveness, and responsiveness. So Malaysia wanted to be a world-class public services. To some extent, I think we are. Yeah, as I mentioned, compared to US, in terms of coming up with a new passport, we are much earlier than them. Yeah. Now next, this is for 9 and 10 Malaysia plan, but actually Malaysia have long-term plan for 10 years and middle-term plan for 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. Like Indonesia, they have Repelita. Yeah, Malaysia 5 years development plan. So under 9 and 10, actually more initiative to enhance national innovation capacity. Talking about national, not only department or a ministry, but the whole country. Yeah? So we want to nurture first-class mindset. This is about cultural issue. You have a first-class facility, but you don't have the first-class mindset, then no use. You give facility telephone, public telephone in the rural village, desa, but they destroy it, and then or they bring it home for themselves. I think no point. So that's why you have to change the mindset. So the last Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Najib, introduced concept One Malaysia, people first and performance now. And also another important policy, GDP is a government transformation plan. Yeah, government want to transform, more innovation, high impact program in specific key area. And then he introduced NEM, new economic model, and established Agensi Inovasi Malaysia, a specific agency or institution to develop and implement innovation nationally. Yeah, nationally. And a lot of circular or guideline to enhance culture of innovation, and coming up with Innovating Malaysia framework, Public Sector Innovation Day, Public Sector Transformation Initiative, National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy in 2015. Next. That's why I said, this is, next slide please. This is the current development policy, which is 11 Malaysia plan, which ended next year. Yeah, next year. So the objective under this plan is to improve capability, activity, and performance of public sector. There are many studies. One of the studies by a researcher at University Technology Malaysia, UTM, they found out actually there are 3 important variables that determine the level of innovation in a particular organization. One is that capability, your capability. Number 2 is the number of activity. Yeah? And number 3 is about the leadership or the working culture in that sector. So under this plan, innovation become national agenda. Innovation was used to be a source of growth and sustainability for achieving high income country by the year 2020. So our innovation policy now more citizen centric and enhancing productivity in the public sector. So there are 5 focus area that developed by the government. Number 1 is to improve the service delivery. public, yeah, I'm talking all this about public service delivery. Number 2 is to strengthen talent management. Yeah, talent, yeah, about human capital management, if you like. Number 3, rationalization to improve productivity and performance. So sometimes some department have to be merged, yeah, have to be merged because we want to improve the productivity and less cost. Number 4, quality services for local government. We have to mention this because Malaysia, we have 3 level of government, yeah. Federal government, state or provincial government, and third is local government. Sometimes when we talk about innovation, we talk about federal government. You know, so improve in Putrajaya, improve federal government office in say Kuala Lumpur, Shah Alam or what, but what about the local government? They are dealing with people also. So that's why now under this plan, we talk about these 3 level of government, yeah? Federal, state and local. And number 5, enhance project management for better and faster outcome. Next please. Okay, I go into rationale why actually we want, we have to measure whether you are successful or not in terms of your plan to achieve high level of innovation, right? So that's why I think we have to measure. Number 1, because we want to provide indicators for achievement, whether we achieve or not. You can compare by various departments or even compare with other countries. Because now many countries have developed innovation index, Australia, Japan, UK, European country, or now even Malaysia, yeah, innovation index. So we want to operate also within the framework or condition of budget constraint, because budget is not actually budget is a limitation, you know. You cannot simply spend because you don't have that budget. So that's why I think whatever you have, you spend on innovation. That's why you have to measure their effectiveness. And number 3, we need to have a data for our organization, for our country, and also for international comparison. Whether your department, say agriculture department, vis-a-vis agriculture department in Korea or Japan, which one is better in terms of innovation, in terms of public service delivery, in terms of public sector performance. Yeah, now you can compare. Now, next. Okay, there are many factors actually influence public sector innovation. As I already mentioned, I thought you asked me to stop. Anyway, so, number 1 is the innovative work behavior or the capability. Yeah, build up the capability to innovate. So actually, sometimes we have the opportunity to innovate because we have a problem that we want to improve. Yeah. Number 2, sometimes we have ideas. That's why you have to generate ideas, and you must have champion. Sometimes people talk too much. Many people want to become a philosopher, but no one to become a doer. That is a problem. So that's why you have to have a champion. In my case now, when I manage the surau or the mosque, masjid also, I adopt this approach, you know. You must have champion for project A, project B, you know, to implement that. And you must measurement to evaluate whether they are successful or not. So number 4 is application or ability. No point to talk too much if you are unable to apply it into a new innovation, like probably you improve the system, you improve administrative policy, or you improve the product by itself, and it doesn't matter. Number 2 is innovative climate, the condition. This is the enabler, for example. You have to have the right environment to create innovation, the right culture. We must have culture strive for excellence to attain goal. You know, I used when I was professor of economics at the University of Malaysia Sabah. Actually, I come from UKM, but I have been seconded to many universities, public, private, or even to the Ministry of Higher Education. So we have a motto, strive for excellence. So everybody must adopt that culture, striving for excellence, so that, you cannot be lazy or less productive in that sense to attain the goal. And we should have the right support and the right award. People sometimes need encouragement. Sometimes by word only make no difference to them. You give award or reward, then make a lot of difference. Number 3, I think the first speaker also mentioned leadership. This is very important. Leadership in terms of innovation, it has to be participative. You cannot just order people to do things, you are not part of it. You have to be part of that project, if you like. And you have to be skillful and also positive thinking. Next. Now, this is also important. We have to measure public sector innovation. And how to measure? There are many studies in Malaysia now by scholars in UKM, UTM, UTM, University Technical and Malacca, on this public sector. But Malaysia adopted 3 approach. 3, but the most common is number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is an object-based approach. That means you evaluate specific project. You are not evaluate the whole organization or the department, but just the project. The project, So you collect data. What are the source of innovation? What are the nature of innovation? How do they implement it? Any problem or barrier? What cause? What impact? And what are the timeline? Yeah, and this is used by Malaysian government to award AIPM. AIPM means Anugerah Inovasi Perdana Menteri. Yeah, they are using object-based approach, but there are some limitation or weaknesses of this approach. Number 2, business practice approach, focus on specific innovative business practice and technology. Malaysia also adopted this since 2012 through incorporation of innovation criteria in the public sector star rating. In Malaysia, I think here also you have star rating. University have star rating, right? You have 6 star, 5 star, 4 star, 3 star, 2 star, 1 star, no star. Yeah, Malaysia university and public sector have this rating, so they are using this business practice approach. But basically the criteria are more on management, core business, and customer management. So SSR rating also not holistic measurement because we focus more on management. So the last one, which claim to be more holistic, is a subject-based approach. Subject-based approach, you survey, you ask respondent about the future of innovation, the climate of innovation organization. In terms, you take data on their input, their output, their outcome, impact, and type. So Malaysia adopt this in the National Innovation Survey and National Corporate Innovation Index. This index actually used by many other governments all over the world, especially developed countries, Australia, UK, Korea also, and most of the Nordic countries. Yeah. Okay, next. I would like to mention there are 2 innovation awards in Malaysia now. Number 1 is the Prime Minister Innovation Award. What are the criteria? Criteria is number 1 is innovativeness. How innovative are they? Number 2, the relevancy of that innovation to the national agenda. And number 3, what are the contribution or impact of that innovation locally and internationally? The cash prize of the award is 1 million ringgit. Yeah, 1 million ringgit is about 250,000 USD. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Of course, you get your cash, you get your trophy, and you get a certificate. The second category is a Public Sector Innovation Award. in 4 areas: ICT, financial management, district administration, and local government management. Award cash prize 300,000, trophy, certificate. But evaluation of technique used for this award actually OBA, which has some weaknesses. OBA is object-based approach, focus on specific group or limit overall understanding of innovation performance of an organization and element influencing overall innovation performance. So, but anyway, so far there are main award nationally given by government to encourage public sector to innovate. Lastly, the conclusion. Last slide, please. Okay. Actually, Malaysia has put greater effort on public sector innovation since 1980s, and we have, as I mentioned, too many policy initiatives implemented, whether directly or indirectly. And number 3, public sector innovation actually already helped to enhance organizational performance in terms of efficiency, effectiveness, and responsiveness to the clients. And last but not least, innovation strategy or initiative actually used by the government as one of the instruments to meet the Vision 2020 objective. With that, I would like to finish my presentation and thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor. Before we move to the next presenter, I would like to apologize because I was so excited that I forgot to read the profile of Professor Yusof Kasim. So, Datuk Professor Yusof Kasim is currently the chairman of the Malaysia Commonwealth Association for Local Action and Economic Development. And he is also the president of Malaysia Regional Science Association, former chairman of the Cooperative Institute of Malaysia, and MKM Global Holding Sendirian Berhad, yeah, and a board member of Education Malaysia Global Services. He's also a professor of economics and visiting professor of Hebei Normal University, China. He is an honorary alumni of Tsinghua University, China since 1996. And he has been awarded the Education Leadership Award by CMO Asia in the Asia's Education Excellence Award in 2015 and the Golden Globe Tigers 2016 Education Leadership Award. And our next speaker is Professor Nemoto Masatsugu. I hope I pronounced it right. Yeah, he is a Japanese who lives in Korea for 16 years. Yeah. I think it's interesting because many young Indonesians want to live in Korea because of the K-pop effect, including my teenage daughter. Yeah, yeah. He got his PhD in public administration from Chungbuk National University in Korea, and Masters of Art and Bachelor of Social Sciences from Ibaraki University in Japan. And he is now a research professor of International Development Institute, Chungbuk National University, a committee member of PR Content Development for Social Enterprise in Chungbuk, and an executive committee for Social Economic Council of Chungbuk. He has received a Peace Prize Award in 2008 from Korea Youth Corps, Jeongju. I hope I spell it right. Okay, now please.
Selamat pagi. As introduced just now, I am Nemoto Masatsugu, a research professor of the International Development Institute at the Chungbuk National University in South Korea. I am a Japanese, have lived in Korea for 16 years. The requested topic to me is Korean's public services innovation. So I prepared and would introduce some advanced cases of Korea from the viewpoint of foreign resident in Korea, Japanese. It means that these services, advanced services in Korea, seems to be more progressive than Japan in public sector part. I thank and I am honored to this opportunity to introduce Korea's advanced examples from foreign residents' viewpoint. Next, please. Yeah. At first, central government, National Petition of South Korea. The national petitions is composed of a system in which the government and the Blue House officials respond to the petition recommended by more than 200,000 people over 30 days. The Blue House in Korea means like White House of the United States. E-People, the People's Online Petition and Discussion. Visit this homepage, webpage, the online portal system that integrates petition, proposal, and policy discussion services operated by about 900 governmental organizations, including central administrative organizations, local autonomous bodies, and public institutions. It means this is a kind of one-stop service. So this system is very useful. I also use this system very usefully. Next, please. And the word, this is very the small, but you can find bahasa Indonesia word, not only Korean word, but also Chinese language, Japanese, and Vietnamese, and so on. For foreign residents. Foreign residents can use this system in Korea. Next, please. Safety e-report. It is the report about risk situations to administrative agencies to secure the public safety from the disaster, accident, and danger. Would you please click the URL in this slide? Can you click? Next slide, please. Yeah. Life discomfort report. Actually, it is to local government level. Used to report various problems to your local government office. Thank you. Next. Yeah. Okay. Office for redress. These problems can include illegally parked cars, trash left out, broken lights, and potholes, etc. This app gets results and informs you of when, where, what kind of action the government took to address their concern. Please click the URL again. Next slide, please. Yeah. Emergency ready app. This app contains emergency contact numbers and teaches users how to do CPR in the case of civil defense alert. The app shows on the map the location of the nearest shelter. And please click this URL. Next page, please. The local governmental level, participatory budget system in local government in Korea. Participatory budgeting system allows citizens to propose how and where to spend a portion of the citywide budget, and then has a participatory budget council deliberate on the proposals as a solution to the lack of citizens' participation and the failure to reflect their opinions in the budgeting process. This is also an application system of smartphone, free danger monitoring service in Seoul City, Ansimi app. Ansimi is a 24-hour smart one-stop safety network that connects with over 30,000 CCTVs and smartphones to monitor in real time and provide rescue support, as well with a control center in each district in Seoul. Please click the URL.
On the edge of your chair for an event without precedent.
And they are developing not only for smartphone but also a very small, like necklace, very small device. Okay, next, please. In the non-profit the part, there is a social enterprise integrated information system. This system allows general companies to search various information needed to become a social enterprise. Social enterprises can apply for online certification and search for support contents. Okay, next, please. Social innovation platform. This is in local level. For example, I can upload some problem and solution in this website, and then after suggesting social problem and solution, if there are 3 or more participating people, the executive committee review the solution. After review passed, one designated innovator manages the agenda. Innovators will be assigned after the executive committee confirms their intention to participate. And this is a new platform this year in Korea. The next one is Korea Intellectual Property Rights Information Service, KeyPRIS. KeyPRIS is a free patent search service which can be searched and viewed online. The database was formed by complying and the information related domestic and international intellectual properties registered at Korean Intellectual Property Office. Yeah, next, please. This is a Heart Hero application of smartphone. This is a free mobile application that empowers everyday citizens to save lives by learning CPR and getting notified if someone nearby is in need. The AED finder enables you to locate the nearest AED to help save a life. Please click the URL. learning how to save the people, you can register this application, and someone use this application to help. You can get alert from this app, and this application shows how to save save the life by the movie. This application shows where the life-saving device is near this location. One interesting thing is that when you use this application and you save someone's life, you can get coupon from this application. This coupon is like money. You can use this coupon at the store. Next, please. The last one is a flood application, and this is under developing now. You can upload and check the information of the place which a wheelchair can go through. Not only restaurant, but also school, the restroom, and so on. This is a new application in Korea. That's all I prepared today.
Thank you, Professor Nemoto Masatsugu. Please give him a warm applause. Now, that is I call e-government, when the citizen can report and the government can react in a mere second. Yeah. Thanks, Professor, for the insight. I was wondering if there is a research about like how many people were saved using the application or something like that, but I'm gonna keep my question. And Professor Yusof Kasim, you talked about digital literacy before. Yeah. I mean, I'm well aware that Indonesian is, I think we still have a low rate of digital literacy, but you know, we're very literate in social media. So, yeah. So people in Indonesia, they're using social media a lot, but sometimes it's quite dangerous because they don't filter what they get and what they say to the world, something like that. Okay, our next session is the question and answer session. Can I have 3 questions, please? Okay, 1. All right, yeah. Mbak, silahkan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, my name is Intan from UPPBJ Jakarta. I have a question for Professor Yusof Kasim. As you said earlier, innovation in public sector is about solving problem and profits, but which one is more important for Malaysia? Thank you.
Other questions? All right, maybe, please, can you answer that question, please?
Okay, thank you for asking this question. Actually, initially at the organizational level or departmental level, of course they wanted to solve their problem. But later at the national level, actually, it's not just solving the problem, but actually more so on enhance the capability of the organization to deliver services to the people cheaply or more efficiently and responsive to the needs of the people and satisfy the need of the customer, which is the people. So in other words, innovation policy was part of a strategy to improve national economy, national competitiveness, so that we are ahead of other countries, for example, in terms of certain area, so that we are more competitive. So in context of Malaysia, if you look of the competitiveness index, some time ago we were number 18 in the world, number 18. But now I think for whatever reason, I don't know, number 25 in the competitive index, So this is a good measurement because investor also will look into this, into your delivery system, your public sector mechanism, and how fast that you respond to the people and also to the investor. So that's why government of Malaysia established innovation agency by itself, because before this there are a lot of agency also talking about productivity, talking about improved competitiveness, but since 2012, I think, established a specific organization, they call it Agensi Inovasi Malaysia, under the Prime Minister Department, to look into this nationally, not just at the context of individual organization or department. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Next question? Yes.
Okay, good morning, Professor Nemoto. Hajimemashite. Annyeonghaseyo. My name is Astri. I'm a lecturer in the Faculty of Education. So my question is, honestly, I'm very jealous to show your presentation because most of the application in Korea is very developed and it's very help the society. But I saw that most of the application is touch about physically, like a heart attack or something like that. But just like last week, we have a very viral issue from South Korea. One of the singer, the name is Suli. She just suicide. So my question is about application that is related to psychological in society. Is there any like professor or scientist is also have a research or maybe develop this kind of application? And the other question is for Professor Yusof Kasim. So what about in the implementation of Indonesian society in 5.0 in Malaysia? I mean that, like in Indonesia, we have like a rural area, and it's a little bit difficult to like implementation of this kind of this Indonesia. I mean that society in 5.0. So what about in Malaysia? Because I saw that in Malaysia also still have a rural area. So how the government can like implement this kind of society in a 5.0. Thank you.
Okay, I think the question is clear. Professor Nemoto.
Thank you very much for your very important question. I should study this topic. There, I will show you the website, crowdfunding site. Please wait a minute.
while we wait for the, I think for the, can Professor Yusof answer the question of Mbak Asri? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Very good question. Actually, let me say this. Malaysia now actually at the large scale still under Industry 4.0. Yeah, Industry 4.0. But indirectly under the new vision, which actually announced by the government a few weeks ago, they call it Wawasan Kemakmuran Bersama. In English, we call it Shared Prosperity Vision. Shared Prosperity Vision. So they don't use the word 5.0, but actually some component of 5.0 is inside here. For example, big data. So big data become one of the 8 enabler for Malaysia future development. So it become enabler, you know. Enabler mean factors used, kalau dalam bahasa kita kata pemudah lah, pemudah, you know, to enable that you jump to that level. Okay, you mentioned about rural area. Of course, I think Malaysia is quite urbanized already. About 75% live in the urban area. But there are still, you know, people in the rural, for example, Sabah, Sarawak. So under the new budget, Malaysia budget 2020, about government, I think, mentioned about 1 week ago or 10 days ago. I also, not to say, I also mentioned about this budget in one of the TV in Malaysia, the strong and weaknesses. But government put so much also money or allocation for Sabah and Sarawak to come up with, to enhance their connectivity, you know, improve infrastructure of ICT. No point you talk about 5.0 if you have no line, no Wi-Fi line, no, you know, broad-based, your system are very slow and very expensive, you know. But actually, Korea is very fast. Even in the underground, you can get call. You know, you can read your message underground, or not to mention in the toilet, underground, in the lift. Some country, when you are in the lift, you cannot read because there is no line. That means penetration is very weak and very low. So don't talk about 5.0. I think you talk about 3.0 or 4.0 first. Because actually it's a good relationship between 4.0 and 5.0. Yeah. So it's just a little bit improved, but you don't talk about 5.0 if you are not able to fulfill the 4.0, especially the infrastructure, the connectivity, the speed. You know, the speed very important. So I think Malaysia is toward that. But we are still focusing on 4.0. But only in the next 10 years from next year, then we started for about 5.0. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Is it ready? While we wait, maybe next question. We still have, oh, all right, yeah. One and two, Bapak Zainur.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I am Nova. I'm from UPJJ UT Jakarta. I want to ask that to Yusof Kasim. What is Malaysia Incorporated policy? What is Malaysia Incorporated policy?
Pardon me, please. Maybe you can ask in bahasa, maybe.
What is Malaysia Incorporated policy?
Maybe you can ask in bahasa Indonesia.
Apa yang tergabung, apa aja yang menyangkut dalam perubahan di Malaysia?
Perubahan related to society 5.0. Oke. Perubahan di society di Malaysia. Oke.
Okay, I think seperti yang dinyatakan oleh speaker pertama tadi Bapak Sri tadi daripada Telkom tadi, kita dia tunjuk daripada hunting punya society, agraria ya, pertanian, kemudian industrial society, kemudian ICT information society. So Malaysia sejak 10 tahun yang lepas memang dah fokus pada information society, di mana kita fokus pada knowledge based economy ya, digital economy. Tapi sekarang ini mungkin di peringkat akhir kepada fasa 4 iaitu industrial society itu yang akan mula kepada yang 5 iaitu society 5.0. Sebenarnya society 5.0 ni baru sangat lagi, itu pun Jepun saja yang develop model atau approach tu. Malah negara barat macam Germany apa semua pun belum pergi ke situ, dia pun heran juga tengok Jepun kan. Jadi kalau nak dibandingkan macam tu, kalau Malaysia pun orang kata not bad lah compared to other developed country in the West, you know. Except Japan, they are more ahead in terms of this digital economy. So perubahan or changes has taken place, yeah. And as I mentioned to you, it is important to lay the good foundation for that changes to take place, not only in terms of hardware I mean physically, but in terms of software, which is the people, you know, the talent management, knowledge, whether they have the right knowledge. Sometimes you have the machine, but you don't have the knowledge to manage that machine, not to say to develop the new machine, but don't have the knowledge to develop, to adopt or to adapt that one also, then you are facing a problem. So in the Malaysian context, we are now focusing more on TVET education, TVET, you know, technical, vocational, science technology education. So the last budget for 2020, Malaysian government give more priority and more budget to that technical and vocational education system rather than purely academic, yeah, because we want to provide the people resources who can lead and manage this 4.0 or 5.0 society. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor. Before we move to Pak Zainur, maybe now we can show the
yeah, thank you. Actually, the suicide rate of Korea is highest in OECD country. It's very high. So this is a problem in Korea. Nowadays, the crowdfunding web service is developing in all over the world, not only Korea. But this is a Korean case. There are some crowdfunding site in Korea also. All My Company. So this is, you can apply your project, startup project in this site. The purpose is prove social issue, social problem. So this is one of the way to prove social issue. Yeah, this is a kind of trend in Korea also. Some Korean people can, it's easy for some Korean people to feel alone in Korean social system, but because of these kind of services, people can feel a sense of unity or can get together.
Thank you, Professor. Yeah? Mike, please.
Okay, sorry, Professor Nemoto. So it means that the government also provide this kind of application for the society, I mean, for psychological problem, that's been like that?
Yes, government also developing to support social issues related with suicide. It's in progress.
Okay, Mbak. Yeah. Now, Pak Zainur, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for this opportunity for make a question. The first, I will introduce myself. My name is Jainur. I'm a lecturer in Indonesian Open University in Faculty of Economics. That mostly the presenter asking about big data and application. But we know in the revolution industry, there is three competencies that coding and big data. One is the human competency. But what happened in society 5.0 about human competency? Since last week I go to Riau, I meet some couple, have a breakfast in the restaurant. Both of them just concentrate with the handphone, not asking each other. What happened in society 5.0? What the government must do so the society have proper to the society 5.0. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Zainur. Silakan. Professor Yusof Kasim asked you to repeat the question.
I'm worried about the human competency in 5.0, society 5.0, since at now we know most people just concentrate with the handphone, not aware with the environment, not aware with our society, neighbor or friends. If we sit each other in this room only, most of us were asking about another people in the next area, not make competition with our friend in the same table, I think.
So the question is?
What must government do
All right.
about this condition? I think the application the aplikasi tidak akan bermanfaat sementara apabila masyarakatnya tidak peduli pada satu sama lain. Saya pikir itu yang harus di bagian dari yang harus kita bicarakan di sini. Bagaimana kondisi masyarakat, apa yang harus government lakukan terhadap kondisi ini gitu. Artinya kondisi ketika kepedulian kita untuk terhadap satu sama lain semakin menurun. Sepasang suami istri, saya lihat kemarin artinya, tidak peduli dengan istrinya, mereka hanya lihat HP-nya, chit-chat sama orang lain gitu. Saya khawatir kondisi ini. Terima kasih.
Okey, terima kasih, thank you. Yang itu Pak, belum lagi 5.0 sudah terjadi. Ya, belum lagi 5.0 sudah terjadi sekarang, memang begitu. Kalau dalam satu rumah tu, anak-anak, cucu semua tengok masing-masing punya gadget, jadi tidak berinteraksi antara satu sama lain. Jadi yang itu mesti ada maknanya kebijaksanaan untuk mengeratkan semula connectivity antara insan itu, people to people, not just the machine. Yeah? But actually there is nothing to do with 5.0. Actually 5.0 in Japan, actually they want to improve these all services to solve the problem of the aged people, you know, by using this ICT. So everything easy for them, so that they are satisfied, you know. After all, they are old age already. Sometimes no people look after them. So that's why they create this technology for at least, if not to solve 100%, at least to less the burden of these old people. But your question is question about the effect of technology to the people, whether 4.0, 3.0, 4 or 5, it doesn't matter, but it's already happening. So I think that's why I think we have to come back to our culture, our jati diri, you know, your culture, your politeness, you know, helping each other, helping the poor, the parent. I think then the religious education become important. People in the surau, in the musala also sometimes they don't listen to the kutubah. They just looking their social media, which is wrong, you know. So I think it has to be, it should be a policy for example, in the education system. You can make it a national policy, for example, to improve the togetherness among the people in any society. I think sometimes people talk about social cohesion, but they forget about the unit of this social cohesion start from family. The first unit come from family, and then a larger group to the community, and then the society as a whole. So I think time has come for any government to put that as a policy and implement it. Otherwise, I think problem become more serious. Sometimes the wife do not listen to you because they are busy, busy with the dia punya WhatsApp, you know, whatever. So thank you. Yeah.
Maybe Professor Nemoto want to add something?
I would like to. I would like to share one idea. When I think I come to this Universitas Terbuka, this is just idea. When you have a car and and a smartphone, and I don't have a smartphone, but when you drive, you can meet people who control traffic jam illegally, right? And then I am a representative of a specific district, representative of resident of a specific district, and I share the government rent smartphone for me, and I share with resident of specific district, and I bring smartphone, and I control traffic jam at significant crossroad. And you drive. When you drive, before you drive, you can donate some money to the public office, and then you go through the significant crossroad, and I control traffic jam for you. So your smartphone and my smartphone will be get very close when you through near my side, because I control the traffic jam. And then after you drive, you can, how to say, the check, you can click good service or bad service for me. And then public official check the result from your smartphone, and then public official give some money to me because I did the control, the traffic jam control. Like this way, now the traffic jam control people is illegal, but they should be certified through education and how to say, because they are doing public service. So something should be developed in this in Indonesia. Grab service is developed in Singapore, but I think Singapore people, it's difficult for Singapore people to develop this kind of service because there are not so many people who control traffic jam illegally. But Indonesia, there are many people. It seems that there are many people to control traffic jam illegally now. So this can be innovation, challenge, and opportunities to generate income for them.
Yeah, I think I can sum this up. The idea of public services innovation is a way the government can deliver the service to its people quicker and better, I think. And problems like social problems like how people don't care each other has to be solved before that. Yeah, it's a different story, right, Professor? Yeah, okay. Any other question before we finish this session? Maybe one more question. We still have, okay, two. From this third column, and Bapak, I'm sorry, I cannot.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, selamat siang, salam sejahtera kita semua. Ohayo gozaimasu, Profesor Masatsugu Nemoto. As your explanation before that you are as a Japanese citizens, right? Still Japanese citizens, but you are now lecturing in Korean University. So I think from 16 years you stay in Korea, you can compare between how in implementation for society 4.0 and right now 4.0 between Korea country and comparing with Japan country. This is my first question. And then the second is how after you maybe 1 day or 2 days in Indonesia, you can also compare how do Indonesia can do the best for accommodate 5.0 society 5.0, because as we know that Japan country and also Korean country population is not so big, also in Malaysia not so big comparing with Indonesia. And the explanation before from Telkom, the Telkom mentioned that society for 5.0 will use artificial intelligence and also big data and also maybe robotic. Indonesian condition now, population still high, so how to implement and make it success everything in Indonesia. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, my name is Bambang. I'm from IB Kesatuan.
Okay, thank
you
you
very
Pak
much.
Bambang. The second question is, okay.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Esa Nadia from UPBJJ UT Bogor. My question is is Malaysia or South Korea or Japan has any invention in economic development Like for example, in Indonesia, we have a significant amount of small enterprises. And in addition, Indonesia is currently developing integrated system for their population data and connect it with business permission in order to support the government policy. But most of the owner of the small enterprises doesn't understand about the program or the system. So I want to know whether Malaysia, Japan, or South Korea has a digital platform or any invention in cases like this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think that's the last question because we only have like a few minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay. Professor Nemoto, will you answer the first question from Bapak Bambang?
Thank you for your interesting question. The difference point between Korea and Japan is the digital technology is very developed in the private sector in Japan. On the other hand, in Korea, the digital technology is developed very high in public sector in Korea. This is the difference between Korea and Japan. So you can check and you can check the difference when you check the Japan and the Korean situation. And then in Korea or in Japan, this is a kind of disability. There is a kind of disability that people use smartphone very long, too long, to spend daily life. So they should be shut down from using smartphone. This is a social issue in Korea and Japan. But on the other hand, in Indonesia, there are not. It seems that there are so many people who does not or cannot use smartphone because of lower income. So this is one idea. It is important for Indonesia government to share smartphone with one family or one district or one shop. How to share in this level, not for one person, but not for one family or one district or for one shop. So this is, I think this is important for Indonesia to make some rules to share smartphone.
Thank you. The last question, Pak Yusof Kasim, about the micro and small enterprises.
Okay. Okay, the SME, small medium enterprise, actually in Malaysia also very big. 98% of enterprise are considered under SME. They contribute about 40% of the GDP. But the main problem with SME in Malaysia and other part of the world, actually, the lack of technology, in their production and their process. Reason is very simple, because they want to keep cost of production low by using low skilled labor. So in the context of Malaysia, we are still using about 3 million foreign laborers from Indonesia, Bangladesh, and other country working on this one. But now, under budget for 2020, government have a specific policy to replace these international workers or foreign laborers by enhancing the level of technology in the SME, and government give incentive, for the SME to improve their level of technology. Because I think you like it or not, or by hook or by crook, you have to improve the technology if you want to be more sustainable. If you talk about cost of processing the production, unit cost is actually cheaper in China or even now in Vietnam, you know. So that's why in Malaysia now, government actually shift the policy, now focus more on skilled workers. I mentioned about TVET education, skilled workers, and give more incentive for the company who actually employ high technology and also skilled workers. So we wanted to increase the skilled workers as compared to just low skilled workers, you know, in our industry. But before this, I think one of the audience just now mentioned about how best Indonesia developed 5.0. For example, you're talking about artificial intelligence, you talk about big data, data analysis, robotic. At the same time, you have high level of unemployment, many people living in poverty, things like that, you know. If you suddenly change to robotic or what, then more people unemployed. So I think that's why I think in terms of policy, the balance policy between people and this technology has to be considered seriously and consciously, you know, not just that now everybody go to 5.0, we have to go now. Not necessarily. You look into your own nature and problem, not necessarily follow what other people are doing. But of course, I think in general, we have to improve the technology, the innovation, but not necessarily jump into bandwagon 5.0 now, because Japan 5.0, we have to be 5.0. Japan actually, they are old age society, you know, their population growth is sometimes, I think, very, very low. Very, very low. So they have a problem of people, you know, to replace the workforce. We don't have the problem. We have a high number of unemployed graduates, you know. But then you are talking about robotic. Of course, you should venture into robotic industry, but not necessarily replace everything with the robot. Yeah. So, okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. I think now we come to the end of this session. I'm not making any conclusion other than saying thank you for Professor Yusof Kasim and Professor Nemoto. We learned a lot about the experiences in public services, innovation, both in Malaysia and Korea. Hopefully, Indonesia will follow their step in the future. All right, thank you. Thank you, Professor. Okay.
Thank you very much to the speakers for informative and insightful presentation. And we would like to give the placard and also the souvenir for our panel speakers. Please stay on the stage. And kindly please Dr. Ali Muktianto and also Dr. Joko to pass on the souvenir and placard from Universitas Terbuka to our panel speakers on the stage. And kindly please for Dr. Ali, Dr. Joko, and also the panel speakers to take a photo together. And also for our moderator. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the speakers and also for Dr. Ali Muktianto and Dr. Joko. Itu yang please have a seat to all the speakers and also Dr. Ali Muktianto dan Dr. Joko. Okay, the Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, now we want to give our souvenir and placard to our co-hosts, the representative from Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi Indonesia, Jakarta, the representative from Universitas Nusa Cendana, the representative from IBI Kesatuan Bogor, and also the representative from Association of Public Sector Accounting Educators, and the last, the representative, the director of PKN STAN. For those, the co-hosts, we invite all of you to come to the stage to receive the souvenir and placard. And kindly please, Dr. Ali Muktianto and also Dr. Joko, to pass on the placard and souvenir. The first placard for Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi Indonesia, Jakarta, the representative. Okay. For Universitas Nusa Cendana, for Association of Public Sector Accounting Educator, APSAI, and also for IBI Kesatuan Bogor, the last but not least for PKN STAN. And kindly please to take a photo together for all the co-hosts and also Dr. Ali dan Dr. Joko. Thank you so much for all the co-hosts for our ISBEST 2019. Okay, the Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, those are the agendas we have presented to you this morning as we have finished our opening ceremony. Coming up the last session, we are going to have a parallel session. For those presenters, please be note that our session will be start at 1 o'clock. After break and lunch, you can proceed to your presentation room. And on behalf of all the committee members and the college, we would like to express our utmost gratitude to all the distinguished guests and participants of the second ISBEST 2019. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.